If you are looking for Movement Voter Project's national briefing on making our 2026 midterms too big to rig, you are in the right place. Thank you so much for joining us. I want to give you a little bit of info about what MVP is. Some of you may already know, but for folks who want a refresher or who are joining us for the first time, we like to say that we're like a mutual fund for political giving. What that means is that donors from all across the country, many of you, invest your money, thank you, into MVP at all levels of giving. So that can be small, big, no level is too small, and definitely not no level is too big. And then we take that money that you trust us with, have entrusted us with, and we put it where it can make the most good and be the most effective on the issues that people care about, on winning elections, and on policy change.
We are 90 days out from Election Day today. Early vote starts next month. And we have a huge, huge opportunity. Trump's approval's in the toilet. Democrats are slightly favored this November, but only slightly. And our side is fired up, and their side is kind of demoralized. And it's basically the reverse situation of 2024. So we have a chance to win everything this fall: the House, the Senate, down ballot. We can win trifectas and make huge gains in the states, and we can set ourselves up for 2028. And it's not just about winning, it's about winning by a lot. We need to win by huge margins so we can govern in 2027 to stem the bleeding and govern in 2029 to make the really big changes we need to really change our country. And this is our legacy, folks. This is about my kids, your kids, our kids, grandkids. It's about everything we love: our democracy, our environment, our Supreme Court, the very soul of what we want our country to be. And the good news is that we have thousands of organizers between all of our partners working hard on the front lines in all the key states and districts on our behalf. So, look, just to back up, I know we've all spent the last 18 months feeling horrible and demoralized and terrible, not even wanting to look at the news. But, folks, we are now being handed the political opportunity of a lifetime on a silver platter right now. We need to hold hands and jump and move as many resources as we can to frontline organizers to bring this election home. I'm so proud and grateful, and it's so amazing to just hear these stories from grassroots organizers who are harnessing the energy that we saw in places like Minnesota and Memphis to bring that into the midterms. That's how we're going to win, by bringing a movement into the midterms and showing up in massive historic numbers to make this election too big to rig. Our side, we're trying to do back of the envelope math. We're hundreds of millions behind on cash against the Republicans. An educated guess, we're 200 to 300 million behind where we were at this time in 2022. And there are a lot of reasons for that. I wrote a bat signal about why the money is not moving this cycle, but we are here to change that. And it's not too late. We have a huge goal to meet this year, not only to mobilize voters for massive turnout to make it too big to rig. So please talk to your financial manager, talk to your spouse, your parents, your siblings, your kids, your cousins, your book club, your college roommates. You can host an MVP party or a Zoom or co-host it. We make it really easy. There, you can sign up through the volunteer portal on the website. So please, whatever you do, commit right now to setting aside 1 hour in the next week to talk to someone, think through what you can do.
If anybody still doubts that election sabotage is not going to be part of the midterm playbook, there's been plenty of evidence over the past few months that should disabuse you of those doubts. In the past few months, we've seen law enforcement seize voting equipments and ballots from recent elections. We saw this in Riverside County, California, Fulton County, Georgia, Maricopa County, Arizona. That's sabotage. Trump issuing an illegal executive order directing the US Postal Service not to deliver ballots in states that have refused to go along with the Trump voting plan. That is sabotage. The federal government investigating and threatening the prosecution of election workers, like what we've seen happen in Georgia, that's sabotage. And, we don't have to look any further than the Calais Supreme Court decision, but targeting Black political power by redistricting and canceling election and votes, you better believe that's sabotage. So we've got plenty of evidence in front of us. And we know that these attacks are part of a broader authoritarian project, right? The goal is not just simply to control this single election. The goal is to manipulate systems of our elections to undermine voter access for now and for years to come. And most of all, the goal is to make people doubt that democracy can work for them at all and use that doubt to seize and hold on to political power. All of that is critical in this moment. And these movements have to remind the American people that voting is an act of resistance. And we have to remind folks that we all have a voice, that voice matters, and this movement and action needs to start now.
Democrats are highly motivated, but that doesn't get them to the polls. I'm gonna tell y'all, like that does not get them to the polls. What it does is it loads the opportunity. The opportunity is there, and we just have to do it. Even when you're looking at in South Texas, they're saying that there's a bright spot in South Texas, but we're not seeing the resources that just can't go to the candidate. We don't need just hard money or C4 money to go to the candidates, because what that means is that we're all contingent upon the strength or the weakness of a candidate or campaign. Yes, we may want a candidate to win, but we want the people to win. In order for that to happen, we have to have a layered strategy. Yes, the candidates will run their campaign, run their message, but our win can't be based on how strong they are or how effective their campaigns run. The people have to have a win, and that means that we need C4 dollars and hard money in these areas where there are bright spots of opportunities.
It starts somewhere. I would say the most important thing is to be in motion. What's the find your lane and just start moving? I don't think this is going to be a season where there can be a top-down central command and control operation that's deciding everything that has to happen. We actually really have to be transparent about what the strategy is and then ask people to self-organize and take on leadership everywhere.
Billy told you, the amount of money that the movement needs, and it's a big amount. It's a lot of millions of dollars, but I don't want that to deter you from giving to us right now so that we can resource the organizers on the front lines. If you have $1,000 to give, that could mean that an organization that Latasha is working with on the ground can pay for their door literature to help get Roy Cooper elected in the Senate. So even $1,500 could pay for an organizer for a day, and obviously $1 million could be an entire Get Out the Vote program for any of our partners. So go for it.
When the leaders and the organizations have the support they need, they will come up with the next set of brilliant ideas. Latosha, Leah, and Maria et al. And so it's just an honor to be raising money to support y'all's work and doing this all together. And there are just so many organizations who work together to do this. And so I hope everyone feels part of a community, part of a movement. We're holding hands and jumping together. Whatever your relationship is to it, let's do this.